afternoon, this is ALAI News. I'm today's host, Leyla Baghirova. Today we're going to be discussing how certain people were affected by the Soviet Union's occupation. The existence of the Soviet Union lasted from 1922 to 1991. The Soviet Union was the first official country to declare itself as a communist country. The Soviet Union was a union of 15 republics, the following being Russia, Ukraine, Georgia, Belarus, Uzbekistan, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Moldova, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. The Soviet Union ended up slowly collapsing due to the following reasons. The Soviets' economy started to decrease because of the overuses of its resources, nuclear power, and military arsenal. And the interest in the Communist Party was slowly plummeting. After all these years, all 15 countries were gradually freed from the Soviets' rule. Now we'll be interviewing Christina Jones, who is a political expert in topics regarding the Soviet Union's occupation.
Hello, Christina.
Hello.
Could you tell us about the history of the territorial conflict between the Soviet Union and the Baltic states, Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania?
Of course. So the Baltic states were illegally annexed by the Soviet Union in June of 1940. That happened because in 1939, the Soviet Union pressured these countries to accept their military bases. And if they did not comply, the Soviet Union threatened to attack them with thousands of troops. In 1940, the USSR military overtook the Baltic states' governments. And they were definitely capable of this because the Soviet army was bigger and more powerful than the Baltic states' militaries. So the occupation of these countries lasted until 1991, and during these years, Lithuanians, Latvians, and Estonians had many resistance movements. During 1941 to 1949, many people from the Baltic states got exiled to Siberia to live in inhumane conditions. So everyone who was considered an enemy of the Soviet Union got exiled to Siberia. Enemies of the Soviet Union were often people who supported the independence of the Baltic states or spoke out against the USSR's crimes against their countries.
Thank you for that information.
Now we'll be going over to our reporter in Vilnius, Lithuania. Over to you, Indira.
You about the exile to Siberia during the Soviet occupation of the Baltic states. Could you tell us how you got exiled to Siberia?
So I was 8 years old, and one morning I woke up from loud banging in my door, and soon the door broke and 2 Russian soldiers barged into my house. Then they told us, our family, that we're going away forever and we'll never see Lithuania again. And they took us to a train station. They were taking us to Siberia. So then at the station, they separated men and women. Men had to stand in one line, and I've heard that the men were going to be taken to hard labor camps. So my dad had to go there, and that was the last time I saw him. And then they took me and my mother to a train meant for animals. So the trains were really uncomfortable. They were cramped. There was no bathroom, no food for 2 weeks. Only the people who had brought food from home or sneaked it into the train had something to eat. And so many people died on the way. So then they just tossed dead people's bodies into a river. So then when we finally reached Siberia, they put us into these wooden houses. They were almost like barns. They were also really uncomfortable to live in. Diseases were spreading easily because there was no sanitation. There were holes in the walls and the roof. And then we stayed in Siberia for 5 years, and my mother had to cut wood every day. So Siberia was really hard to survive because, you know, most people died during the first winter because of different diseases and the cold and the lack of food.
Why did you and many other Lithuanians get exiled to Siberia?
So my family got exiled because my father was a highly respected professor, and the Soviets just thought that people like us were not suitable for the new communist country they were building. So anyone that did not agree with the Soviets' occupation, resisted it in any way, or loved Lithuania could get sent to Siberia. And you could also get sent there if you were a respected member of society or someone educated in a high-profile job. And they were trying to get rid of people who had money because they displayed this country as workers' paradise. So apparently the rich and educated people had no place there. They took the rich people's houses, property, everything, and sent them to Siberia, getting rid of them. And they said they were doing this for the greater good of society, but they were doing it for themselves. They kept the money. The Communist Party members, they were also more favored in society than just a normal citizen, unlike they led us to believe.
Thank you. Now we will be talking to someone who has another perspective on the Soviet Union's occupation.
My name is Arshia. I'll be here instead of our previous interviewer, Indira.
Hello.
So today I have a few questions for you. My first question is, you're previously a member of the Communist Party. Could you please explain how you first got involved with the party?
I had been fond of the Communist Party since I was a little girl. When I was 7, I joined the Oktobrata, the Little Octopus organization. Later then the Pioneers, then the Communist Youth Organization. If you were a part of any of these, you were highly respected by your teachers, peers, and if you did well, you were praised by everyone. All these organizations were practically a stepping stone for you to join the Communist Party when you grow up. I believed in their ideas. It was what was best for the country.
A lot of people were harmed by the Soviet Union. For example, the people who were exiled to Siberia. What's your opinion on the harmful Soviet policy and the illegal occupation of countries?
Those countries always belonged to us. They were powerless on their own, and they needed our help. Being a part of the Soviet Union was better for them. If they did not want to get killed or taken to Siberia, they should not have resisted the Soviet government.
My last question today is, do you ever feel nostalgic about the Soviet Union?
Yes, I wish Russia was still a part of it. I was happier there, as a member of the Communist Party. My good future was guaranteed.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching. I'm Leyla Baghirova, and this is ALAI News. Next, on the breaking news, there has been a mass shooting near Miami, Florida.